What's up, guys? I've been kind of avoiding making videos because, yeah, for this very reason. I don't know what to say half of the time. So check it out. I wanted to maybe work on a little project. I figured I might go ahead and maybe videotape what I'm thinking and maybe what I'm doing. So anyway, guys, right here we have a battery. We have like a little battery trickle charger, and we have an inverter. So I'm thinking, hey, I'm gonna try to make me one of those kind of portable power devices, portable power banks, kind of like those little jackeries and stuff. Those are cool. They're actually awesome, to be honest. They just cost a little more than I want to pay because the affordable ones, that's like $160 or so. They tend to not have very much capacity. And then the ones that do have a good amount of capacity, they'd be like $300. So yeah, it's just not for me. So, and what I'm wanting to do is like run like a laptop, and I have a telescope that's like a go-to telescope, and I want to be able to be remote and run my telescope and my laptop. So that's kind of the plan. So this a little inverter. I've got it on a 5 amp hour battery. Now I can get, I believe, at least a 8 amp hour, possibly even a 10. But you know, this is still somewhat limited, but this will run my laptop, and this goes 150 watts. So I was thinking about, okay, let's kind of do something here because this can go 300 watts. And if I can kind of prove the concept out, I was going to actually get a bigger one of these. But then I'm looking around my garage and I saw this. Now this is one of those old school battery jumpers. And the battery, I bought this many years ago, like over 10 years ago. And the battery inside this thing is just shot. It barely holds a charge. I tried to charge it today, got to about 8 volts or something like that. But it does still work. So all these ports still work. You got two 12 volt kind of car ports. You got two USB ports. You even got a light on this thing. That's the alarm to show that the voltage is too low, so it can't do the light right now. But it also has a air compressor, which, you know. But the thing that makes this really cool, it's all self-contained, a lot like the Jackery. You charge it just by plugging it up right here. It has this battery inside, and it even has a built-in inverter. And this inverter is 200 watts, so it's actually more than this, more watts than this. And if I wanted more, I don't see what would stop me from just plugging this in and get 300 watts. So what I'm thinking is basically building some kind of a DIY situation. To be that. All right. So let's check this out, guys. So this is a 20 amp hour battery in here. So me using another 20 amp hour battery isn't overloading or making the charging system work harder or longer. Everything's just the same. So yeah, so that's cool. First, check this voltage. So it actually made it up to 11.13. I actually had it on the charger for I don't know, 4 or 5 hours today, but I know that it won't hold for nothing because it just won't hold long. So let's check this voltage. So this voltage is 12.54. Like I said, this is a very old battery. It's from 2021, but so far it's still holding all right. So the scope of my project has changed a little bit. So I was first wanting to just connect this battery and plug in my laptop and my telescope out of here. And it did work, but in probably about an hour and a half, this thing was dead. This went into alarm and it was over. So I definitely need more capacity. Now, what's strange is this is a 20 amp hour battery. So is this one, or 20 amp hour battery. As you see, this one's a lot smaller. So what I did, I ordered 2 batteries. That is this form factor. What I'm going to try to do is remove the air compressor and try to get both batteries inside this unit and put it all back together. So those batteries aren't here yet, but I am going to work on removing the air compressor from this unit and starting to free up some space. So also, I do want to leave this inverter hooked up, but it's only 200 watts max. And when I was running my laptop and my telescope and cameras, it was pulling like 180, 190. So that was too close to the max. So I'm going to install this inverter, which has, let's see, 750 max. And I'm going to hopefully install this just like this. So I'm just going to remove this for now, but this is the charger for the unit. So even with the new batteries, I'm going to at least initially keep this. And if you look at it, I mean, it's just basically like a wall charger, like, and this just plugs into here. So very little amps. I'm sure it probably takes a long time to charge. Yeah, it's DC 1 amp. So it's a 1 amp charger. So, but yeah, I might switch out the entire charger and add, you know, something, maybe not this big, obviously, but, you know, maybe just a dedicated trickle charger that's smaller. I might put that on the side or something that could charge up faster. But to be honest, I don't really need to charge this fast. At least I can't think of a situation where I need it fast. But maybe there is a situation. I don't know. Yeah, looks like Amazon delivered the new batteries. Did not even hear them. But these things are super light. I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, I'm pretty easily holding both of these batteries one-handed. Let's check this out. Wow, this is crazy. This thing is so light. Guys, I'll be honest, this is from a company, OK or Okmo or Okmo. I don't know. It's always some names you don't know how they intend on you pronouncing it. But these are lithium, 20 amp hour. Wow, man, it's insane how light it is. got a scale somewhere far lighter than this, but just as I thought, they are the same form factor, so that's exactly what I was hoping for. So there's the old battery coming in at 12.10 ounces, so almost 13 pounds. New battery, 4.12 ounces. So that's crazy, guys. Like literally we'll be able to put twice the batteries in this thing and still won't weigh as much as the original battery. That's wild, guys. That's wild. It's crazy because it feels very hollow. It's because we just got lithium cells in here. Unlike this, it's full lead acid the whole way. Alright. With them both on the scale, we're sitting at 9.9 pounds, 7.3 ounces. So that's quite good. And I'm glad they're here, so now I can measure and see if I can actually get both of these things inside this housing. What I'm trying to figure out, I definitely got to remove this. But I'm trying to figure out how much of it. I guess it just try to pretty much remove it all. Another thing I was thinking about is removing. This is the circuitry for this inverter. And if I remove this circuitry and cut all these out, I could then put this in here and that would work too. But I'm losing an inverter, so. But why would it matter if I've got this one? Really wouldn't matter. Alright guys, so I got this cut out. I might clean it up a little bit more, but just want to try to dry fit this and see. Now if you didn't already guess, I'm obviously going to be running these batteries in parallel. That will double my capacity but leave the voltage the same. If you run it in series, it will double the voltage, and we don't want to do that. We want good old 12 volt power. Okay, so that is kind of what I feared. So I've got to make a decision. Do I want to remove this inverter, or do I want to have this hanging out the back? There's pros and cons to each of them. Yeah, guys. So I'm going to remove this front inverter and everything that makes that inverter work, which is this stuff right here, this fan. This is the actual plug, and this is the switch, and the little LED lights right there. So I'm gonna remove all of this. And this is almost a bummer. I kind of hate to do this, but because in the end, I'm only kind of using this as a shell. But I guess just because everything is kind of outdated. You guys hear that? That means it was a tad bit power in there. Maybe in that capacitor. I hit that switch because it definitely was not hooked up to anything. Okay, so let's do this. There again, you guys know. Man, a 200 watt inverter. You know what? Man, I'm really tempted to keep it, but guys, I got a 300 watt inverter right here. I gotta throw it away. Gotta throw it away. Man, I kind of want to keep that. I don't need it though. All right, so now I need to figure out exactly what all I gotta cut out of here, so this will go further in. All right. So I pretty much got everything gutted in there. So you see how much clearance this gives us. Shit. What is it? Let's try that again. Hey guys, so got these batteries taped up. Got them in there. So we're gonna see if I can get this closed up. It's looking good, looking really good. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, once I get all the screws in, we'll be looking. They'll be back together. Well, close enough. Close enough. Woohoo! Look at that. Look at that. Probably can barely see it. There we are. Off and on. Okay. Guys, check it out. It's one of those rainy spring days. Soccer practice was canceled. Now they usually will practice in this, but it's thunder and hail. So, yep, there we go. Lightning and hail, rather. So, I'm at home tinkering in the garage again. So, yesterday, I got this all wired up and it works, but I actually did make a mistake. When you wire your batteries in parallel like this, I got both my leads to my inverter, both on this battery, and I should have like my positive here and my negative here, or if I'm gonna have my negative here, I should have my positive there. So yeah, I'm gonna need to fix that. And I'm looking at which one might be easiest. I think I'm gonna switch this positive back here. This is the product manual for the batteries that I used in here. I'm not sure if the pronunciation is Okmo or Okmo. I will leave a link in the description if you guys want to pick these up. These batteries was $40 something a piece. You know, the prices on Amazon, they change a little bit, so it could be $44 today, $48 tomorrow, but it was 40 something. I can't remember what it was. They were, I believe, the cheapest lithium battery. They had one battery that was like 30 something bucks. That was the same form factor, but it was lead acid and didn't want that. So just to show you some of this. So everything that has to do with voltage is the same, but everything that has to do with capacity is twice. So like rated capacity in my unit, since I have 2 batteries, we are now at 20 amp hours. My energy is times this times 2, so we're talking 512 watt hours. And I looked it up, guys. So battery portable power banks that's in that price range of like 500, 512, they're generally around $300 to $350. So although, you know, I've got a little bit of money in here, I did buy this unit, but it was so long ago, as far as I'm concerned, it was past its usable life, so it was really e-waste. So I wouldn't even count this unit. I think I paid $50 for this inverter. You could probably beat that price, but I did kind of want to go with something that had a little bit of a name brand, because I'm going to be plugging in things that I don't want to be ruined. So hopefully this won't tear up stuff. But yeah, in the batteries, I've got about $80 in the batteries, guys. So I probably got about $130 in this, something like that. And it's giving me the performance of a $300 to $400 unit. However, I know a legit one is still better. For one, they charge faster. This little charging is not gonna charge fast at all. It's gonna take a long time to charge. Charging fast is not my top concern, though, to be honest. You know, so, but I do have these ports, and I tried earlier. I didn't get these to work, but that's because I didn't press this button. So I gotta press it once for a test, twice for, then I press it again, I get USB, and then if I hold it down for 3 seconds, I get the light. And I forgot that. So when I first plugged it in, these didn't work, but they actually do work. So I got these 2 USBs, these 2 accessories that's like, you know, will plug into a car, 12 volt. And then on the inverter, I've got 2 USBs at 3.1 amps. And then I have the 2 sockets that I can plug into. Now this says 750 watts maximum continuous. So when I was looking at this, it's showing max continuous 256 watts. That one battery can output. So I believe I should be able to hit 500 watts before I drop out, and then this would go into some kind of protection. So I don't really want to try that, because I don't want to mess with all that, but I don't really think I would ever need over 350 to 400 watts at most. Most of the time it would be about 200 watts if I'm running like my laptop and a couple of other things, because all the other things that I'll be running will be all 12 volt, and I wouldn't even use the inverter. Anything that I'm running on my telescope for 12 volt, I would be coming right out of here with them. And the reason why, guys, the energy that's in the batteries are DC. This is an inverter, so it will invert the DC power into AC power. But that takes energy. That's not free. You can't get away from thermodynamics and laws of physics. It takes power. So we're actually losing some of the power to do the converting. We're losing it, and then we're making heat. The fan turns on to cool this off. This uses even more power. And then that AC current will then have to go to whatever block that I'm using, something like this, you know, for the items on my telescope. This is a AC converter. So this will convert AC power to DC power all over again, and then put it in my device. So it's a lot more efficient to just start with DC, go directly into my 12 volt device, and this whole battery bank will actually last longer by doing that, because this is a waste to have to invert. Now, even on my laptop, it's doing the same thing. My laptop, it's coming out of here, 120 volts. And then, you know, that brick that's on your laptop. But on my laptop, it's not 12 volts. So that brick is converting this energy, but it's, I can't remember how many volts it is, but it's greater than 12 volts. So I can't plug my laptop into the front of here. So I will have to go back here with that. Everything else will be here. But guys, that's about it. I think I talked about everything. If you like this kind of stuff, go ahead and like and subscribe, guys. I mean, be honest, my channel, you're liable to see anything. So I could be working on this today. I could be working on a bike tomorrow. Who knows? I just do whatever. If I'm doing something, I think it might be interesting to others, I might go ahead and record it, and you might see it on the channel. So there we go. Look at that, guys. I definitely couldn't do this to the old one. Just hold it straight out like that. Boom. See you later. So guys, this is me actually using the inverter, and so far so good, guys. It doesn't always, the inverter fan doesn't always turn. At this time I was generating peak files. This is actually me editing this very video that you're watching right now. So I was generating peak files and the computer was working kind of hard, so that caused the inverter to run, the fan on the inverter. Like I said, the inverter does not always run, but it was running at this time, and it's even running at the time that I'm recording. So don't get me wrong, it's not that it doesn't run at all, it just doesn't always run. That's all I'm saying. So guys, it's pretty good, working out pretty nicely. So guys, let me say, I've been really happy with this project. I've used it a few times, and like when I'm sitting in my car waiting for my son at soccer practice, I'm able to run my laptop. And this is a gaming laptop, guys. It's got a discrete, you know, video card in there that uses quite a bit of power. And it's going to be this, it seems it's going to be a handy device, guys. Like, our power doesn't go off very often at all, but if it did, to be able to grab this, you know, I kind of didn't add that part, but this little, the power output on top, I added that device and that little switch to turn that on. But yeah, I'm able to sit in my car, run a fan to keep nice and cool. I can run this laptop, and it seems I run the laptop for about 5 hours, so I'm able to use it 2 or 3 times out here before I need to charge it, is what I'm getting at, you know, and that's off of running the laptop. And so overall, guys, it's pretty good. But like I said, if you like the batteries that I bought for this project, like, you know, like I said earlier, they were the cheapest lithium batteries that fits this form factor that I could find on Amazon. So I'll have a link in the description if you want to pick some of those up. You know, you can go with 3, 4, you know, of course you can build any form factor you want, but you would need something for charging, something for inverting, you know, all that kind of deal. So good luck, guys, with your projects, and peace out.